Should you build Kjera? Short answer, maybe. Long answer, this entire video.
ドクター、用事があるのは私？それともエイヤに何か頼み事をしてほしいの？
Kjera is a 5-star mecha cordcaster from Yerrig, a head maid to the Saintess Anya Silverash, and apparently the matron deity of Yerrig. She joins Rhodes Island as a delegate of the Saintess, and presently active as a caster operator in various missions. This caster, whose drone appears to be a Hydrobot straight out from Terminator, is a welfare operator from Break the Ice event. Much like her fellow operators from the event, she can inflict cold and frozen debuff to the enemy. We know frozen debuff is a good thing for an arts dealer like her. So how good can she utilize that ability for your team? We will see. As a mecha cordcaster, Kjera controls a drone acting as another damager besides herself. And when the drone continuously attacks the same enemy, its damage will increase. As for her general stats, Mecha Cordcaster has the lowest attack damage among other caster. But luckily they have their drone and have the quickest attack speed among other. But currently Kjera has the lowest attack stats among her fellow Mecha Cord. Although we can fix that with her talent. As for her talent, permanently increase her attack. And further increase it when there are 2 or more ground tiles within attack range. With this talent, she straight up boosts her attack to around 420 attack, making her attack significantly bigger than Click, and even slightly bigger than the 6-star Golden Glow. The requirements to further increase the attack are also not difficult. Overall a good permanent attack boost talent. And this is her potentials. You can get her potentials from her event shop. Try to get all of her potentials, or at least the talent enhancement. And currently, she doesn't have module. Moving to her skills. Her first skill. Kjera will increase her attack during the skill duration. It's a simple first skill with good uptime and damage. But pretty much there's no reason to use this once you unlock her second skill, as it has a worse DPS, and doesn't do any support or crowd control ability. Moving to her second skill. Increase her drone by 1. Increase her attack. The drone and her own attack can inflict cold by some percentage for 2.5 seconds. The drone will lock the enemy they targeted until the enemy is defeated, or when the skill is over. Arguably her best skill to use, it provides decent arts damage. And on top of that, it has the special ability to inflict cold, or frozen, which is a great crowd control and debuff for an arts damager, as it will stop the enemy from doing anything, and reduce enemy resistance by -15. Notably useful for other who benefits from cold or frozen effect. Aurora needs others who can inflict cold and frozen to deal more critical damage. And also inflict fragile effect to those cold or frozen enemies inside Gnosis range. But of course there's some problem with this skill. The skill uptime isn't too good. And her chance to inflict cold to the enemy is pretty low. Even when she and her 2 drones are attacking the same enemy. Sometimes she can consistently freeze the enemy, and sometimes she doesn't. One small but impactful tips when using Kjera Rest 2. Because of her 1.3 seconds attack interval, and 2.5 seconds cold or frozen, she can only attack the enemy once before those effect gone. But if you pair her with an attack speed booster unit, even if it's just a small amount, such as a Scarp or Angelina, she can do extra attack within her cold cycles. Adding an attack speed booster will dramatically increase her chance to inflict frozen, and overall increase her DPS. For skill masteries, I think none of Kjera's skill is a priority to master. But if you choose to raise her, use her S2 and try to M1 the skill. The mastery of the skill, while seems unimpressive on first glance, keep in mind the increased attack will applies to herself and both drones. As for her base skills, when assigned to reception room, increase clue search speed by 10%, and is more likely to get clue 6. And further increase the chance of the clue you collected is not clue 6. So, will Kjera become a good operator for your team? For a welfare unit who is the few who can inflict cold, I must say she's decent as a caster with an interesting niche. For newer players who have Aurora or Gnosis, you can build her and pair them, as her kit are made to support them both. Otherwise you can spend your resources on other operators. Like Click, who is a cheaper 4-star but is a reliable mecha cord, with good DPS and crowd control. Or Amia, who you need to E2 eventually and has a good set of skill. That should be all. Adios.
火の玉を投げないでね。